welcome to our latest episode of The Full Chat. And today we've got a very close friend of the bike specialist, Mr. Chris Northover.
Hello.
From Bike World. We've been working along with Chris and Alan from Bike World for about 3 years now, haven't we?
Yep.
And very unusual, it's usually he's interviewing me. And today we're going to do it completely different. So we're interviewing a mini interview with Chris. And I just want you people to understand how good this guy actually is on a bike. Multi-talent, so it's not just the road bikes, it's the off-road, the trials, the enduro, a bit of racing in there as well. Do you want to tell him about your racing career?
Do you know I used to race?
So he's very, very talented on a motorcycle, and I'd just like to say this as well, I've really enjoyed working with Bike World for the past 3 years, and also it sparked me a little bit as well, because Chris has been riding all these dream bikes, these incredible bikes, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I need to start riding a bit more myself of all different types and makes, so I can relate to our customers and tell them how good and how different each bike is what we ride. So today I've got some questions, and we've had to, obviously you've done interviews before, and we needed to be a little bit more out of the box, so I've come up with some different questions. Things you've probably not been asked before.
You make me nervous now.
Brace yourself. So obviously motorcycling is your massive thing. How is the motorcycle media landscape these days compared to when you first started?
It has changed massively. I mean, not everyone knows I've been doing motorcycle media work since 2010.
Right.
So originally I was a design engineer for Triumph,
right.
doing a real job,
yeah,
a proper job. And I raced a little bit alongside that, and then I always did a bit of writing in the background, and eventually that got me noticed by a guy called Kenny Pride, who was the editor of Superbike magazine. So I came in as a staff writer, bike tester to Superbike magazine, age 23, 24, and it was the magazine industry was already on a bit of a decline.
Right.
You know, Superbike magazine itself had been passed around a bunch of different publishers, and the staff had gone from 15 to 4. And so I came in, and the magazine industry was already kind of declining, and that happened throughout the 4 years I was at Superbike. And at the time, forums, if you can remember internet forums being a thing, they were the big thing, you know, and they were really on the growth, and they were going to be the next huge thing, and that didn't last very long. And so there was a bit of hope for magazines again, and then the YouTube thing had just started kicking off.
Right.
And while I was at Superbike, I met Al Rawlins from Bike Channel, as it was back then, which was the sort of birth of Bike World TV. He'd started this Bike Channel show. I sort of spoke to him a little bit. We stayed in touch, and then as the years went on, I started doing a few things for him, a few videos, jumping in, test riding alongside the Superbike stuff. And then it gradually grew from there, and eventually Superbike magazine went the way of lots of bike mags and folded. And then Bike Channel became Bike World. Bike World TV has grown and grown and grown. And a lot of people I know from the industry have a big negative view of how now anyone can get a YouTube channel, anyone can have an Instagram channel or a Facebook channel, and they can make their own content.
Yes.
You can grab a action camera fairly cheap and make great content without a production crew, and a lot of people in the industry have a bit of a negative view of that, but I really like it, because I can remember when I was at a magazine, if you didn't have a huge budget to put your magazine in WH Smith or in the airports or in the right newsagents, it didn't matter how good your content was, because nobody saw it. And I remember how frustrating that was. And now anyone can put their content out. And I think that's a good thing for the whole industry.
Just touching on what you were saying there, I mean, I've always loved magazines. A hard copy, you know, when you're actually on the plane or something like that, and you can keep them all. I used to have all my magazines all stacked, Dirt Bike Rider, Dirt Bike Magazine and all this. So I used to have all those, but it's now it's just a thing of the past. You know, we used to advertise very strongly in Motorcycle Mechanics magazine, Bike magazine, Classic Bike magazine, and we spent a lot of money advertising to really get the name and push it out there. And now, you know, it's social media and YouTube, and you know, massive credit to you guys as well. I mean, 340,000 subscribers. I mean, it's a massive thing. It really is.
And they're hard numbers to get your head around.
Yeah, they really are. So it's just the outreach is just unbelievable. And obviously, with us working with yourselves as well, we've seen it really grow. Do you know what I mean? So no, it's good. Next question.
Go on.
Have you ever finished filming a piece knowing you truly didn't agree with the verdict you had given?
No.
So you've always been...
I can do,
yeah.
But a lot of people have a little bit of a view that we're pressurised by the manufacturers, because we have a relationship with all the manufacturers, that we're pressurised by them to give a good
positive
verdict of a bike. I would be out of this job really quickly if I did that. You can't do that.
No.
I tell you what I have done. I have finished a review of a bike and gone, ooh, they're not going to like that verdict. Because you do get, most of the time these days, manufacturers kind of know what they've got, and as long as you're fair to the bike, they don't have an issue. Every now and then you find a manufacturer that really believes their bike is
the ultimate
X, Y, Z, or it's the best in class off-road, or it's the best at this, and you ride it and it really isn't. And I've had a few reviews where I've had backlash from manufacturers, but when I say backlash, they've sort of questioned my opinion.
Yeah.
But it goes no further, because we've got 15 years of working with all the different manufacturers. They're not going to hang up the phone to us because of one bad review. We've got a long relationship.
And that's what people want to see when you're doing these, Bike World YouTube. They want to see the honesty, and that's the thing. You tell how it is, which is good.
Yeah. You have to. There's no future in brown nosing.
Is there a bike you genuinely love but would never publicly recommend to most riders?
Only out of embarrassment.
I do know you like a Honda C90.
Because I love a Honda Cub.
Yeah.
I do love a Honda Cub, all 5 horsepower of it.
And that's the thing with Chris. Chris is very passionate about motorcycles, outrageously passionate. And it's not just the fancy, really fast ones. It's anything literally on 2 wheels. It's like me with the TY80s, your Honda Cubs, your Honda Monkey Bike. I'm 6'4", and I was using a Honda Monkey Bike for 6 weeks to and from work. Everyone thought I was crackers, but it's just because I love bikes.
And look, yes, we'd all love to be riding a supercharged Rocket 3 or a S1000 RR, we'd all love to be riding the most amazing sports bikes every day, but not all of us can ride them fast, have the time or the money to ride them fast. But I've got so many friends that over the years have packed up motorbikes and they've gone, I can't really afford a bike this year. You're like, you can, because a Honda CG125 is £1,000.
Yeah.
And it costs £3.50 to insure and 8p to tax, and so you can have a bike and you'll have more fun riding a Honda CG125.
No excuse.
There's no excuse than you would sitting looking at a picture of an R1.
How much of being a good presenter is riding skill, and how much is storytelling?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I think it's 50. In what we do, it's 50-50, because we review bikes and test bikes and trying to give people that excitement about bikes. And I think the fact that I can ride all different types of bikes, I can have a little bit of authenticity, that I can ride most bikes to most of their potential. But I think I'd probably say I'd much rather listen to a rubbish rider who was a good presenter than listen to a great rider who was a rubbish presenter. So
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. One thing I did want to touch on, actually, one of the most amazing pieces I've ever seen, and I watched it even before I knew who you were, was the Storm the Embassy on the Osset. That is just, if you've never seen that, guys, you must watch it. It's incredible. So obviously Osset motorcycles came to you, didn't they, the manufacturer?
Well, weirdly, Osset gave us one of the kids' electric trials bikes as a demo when I worked at Superbike magazine, and I phoned them, was quite vague, and said, can I do a little bit of a video on it? And they went, yeah, of course. And I said no more, and they asked no more questions.
How many views has that had?
30-something million.
30-something million.
It's technically more, because there was a video that went up, and then there was a copyright issue on music.
Right,
and
got you.
Some usual
it is incredible, so I do recommend you watch that.
It's a lot of bruising.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to work in motorcycle media but isn't a racer or an ex-pro?
Keep a proper job. Keep a proper job and spend your money on your own motorcycles. No. That makes me sound really bitter and grumpy, doesn't it? No, it's important to be able to keep the balance between enjoying riding and riding for work. That's really, really important, and that's not an easy balance to strike. Motorcycles are awesome, and I love them, and the fact that I get to work with motorcycles it's my childhood dream. You know, I absolutely love it. Yeah. But I think you have to work quite hard to make sure that you still enjoy motorcycles when you're not working on them, because it's easy to get home at the end of a day of the pressure and riding things and having to write reviews and plan stuff and then not want to get on a bike. And I think you just need to make sure you strike that balance. Basically, have a load of rubbish bikes in your garage and enjoy them at the weekend.
I know you like collecting them.
I love a rubbish bike.
When the helmet's off and the camera stops rolling, what still excites you about bikes after all these years?
Have you ridden a motorbike?
Yeah, of course.
They're flipping brilliant, aren't they? Honestly,
skids and wheelies.
just riding a bike. And yeah, I don't know whether it's I'm lucky, I guess, but I like, you could give me any bike on the planet and I could have fun on it.
I completely get what you're saying, and I think a lot of people who are actually watching this right now understand. If you love bikes, it's like an addiction. And the thing is, for me, I'm dealing in what I love, and I just want to ride every single bike in here, and we're getting that way. Yeah, especially having you on board.
Absolutely, and that's it. I think it's important. I just enjoy, whether it's fixing bikes, riding bikes, sitting in the garage looking at bikes, going on Facebook Marketplace and trying to have some self-control not to buy any more
especially when you've had a drink at night and you come back and you fire up eBay and you wake up in the morning and you go, oh no, what have I done? What's next for Bike World? Where do you go from here?
Well, I don't know. It's the honest answer. I think we try and do the best job we can. We try and test as many bikes as possible, and we try and keep a balance between riding new stuff, riding old stuff, riding super exquisite dream bike stuff, riding more affordable everyday stuff, and doing some projects and builds. And I think our sort of plan is just to keep doing that. People seem to enjoy that content, keep listening to what people want to see and trying to do that. But that's, we're always pushing. We've got the TV show as well, so we've got a regular slot on TV. Yeah. So we're always pushing to get more and more TV coverage and more airtime on TV channels, and then here's where we're going. We're going to ride more motorbikes and make videos about it.
And dare I say, the biggest crash you've ever had?
Biggest crash? This is embarrassing.
And that's the thing. To get good, you have to have a few knocks and you have to have a few
It's not compulsory, but it just seems to happen.
It seems to happen, yeah.
Weirdly, I've been quite lucky. I've had loads of big crashes. I've not had any big road crashes, really. I've had a couple of little offs. But on the track, I had the biggest high side of my life on a 52 horsepower CB500 Honda club race a couple of years ago. Right. It was just I was just doing some racing to get my license back because I'd let it lapse. Did a couple of events and went to Donington Park and on the national circuit on the flick right left onto the start finish straight, and it just went
high-sided.
I've never been so high off of a motorbike. It was huge.
You felt like Superman flying through it.
I didn't feel like Superman afterwards.
Many broken bones?
Not in that one. I've broken one bone in my life.
Right, really?
Which,
wow.
Yeah, people are quite surprised about, but I've had a couple of concussions and some ligament stuff. But I broke my shoulder blade, but I've been I've been quite
that's leather, not wood.
Wooden frame into it. No, I've been quite lucky. Apart from the shoulder blade, no other broken bones. So long may that last. I'm getting old and frail now, though. It might change.
In fact, how old are you?
Oh, I said, you can't ask a lady that, can you? You can't ask that. I'm 39.
39.
39 years old.
Scariest thing you've ever done?
I've done some really scary things over the years.
One of the stories, if you don't mind me jumping in, is, and I love it, when they were daring you to do a backflip on a trials bike. You were out with the boys and you were all having a bit of a wild night and they all dared you and you took the dare on, didn't you?
I think I said, I opened my big stupid mouth and said, I think I could backflip a motorbike because I can backflip a BMX. I kind of had an idea in my head what it will feel like. Yeah. When I woke up the next morning, they built me a ramp and thrown a mattress on the floor and said good luck with it. So I had to try it. That was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done on a bike. The other one was one of the stunts on the Storm the Embassy video. There's a few bits where I jumped through a hole in a roof, but as a stunt where I jumped off of a scaffold board down a flight of stairs. Right. And I went off the scaffold board, over the handrail and onto a staircase, and I had to land on the brakes and do a U-turn. And if I got it wrong, I went out of a first floor window, and it was terrifying. And it was even more so when they made me wait while they went and put a GoPro on the floor outside, because they said if you go through the window, we want to capture it.
Capture it. We're getting the money's worth then.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But I've done lots of things that scare me, and I've got a bit of a sick thing where I quite like that feeling of being really scared to do something, and a little switch goes in your head where you go, right, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it, yeah.
And it's almost it's like when you're about to throw up and you know you can't stop it, it's just coming. That's exactly what that feeling is like for me. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh God, I'm going to do it, aren't I? Yeah, so it's going to happen.
I never liked heights, and I did a skydive with the Red Devils, and I thought that was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
For that reason, I was so scared and everything, and you jumped out, and it's just like the ultimate feeling.
It is such a buzz, isn't it?
I completely get you. So, your dream day out, what bike would you choose?
Dream day out.
Yeah.
It would probably be a 1980s, late 80s, early 90s Dakar bike.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
For a trail ride around Portugal.
Wow.
Because at that era of the big, wild twin-cylinder Dakar bikes. That were prototype built by the manufacturers. Yamaha built a 4-cylinder superbike engine Dakar bike, which is mental. I'll find you a picture of it. It's nuts. BM had the big boxer twins, so they had these wild, super high horsepower bikes that were horrendous to ride. But riding one of them in the sunny trails in the south of Portugal for a day,
that would be amazing. Obviously, you'd have to have the matching outfit as well.
Exactly. It'd be a toss-up between that and an RC30 around the Isle of Man TT course on a sunny day.
On a sunny day.
One of those two.
One-way traffic,
Can
obviously.
I do both?
If you were taking a bike from the bike specialists, aka as you call it, the Magic Factory, which bike would you take?
Oh, do you know what? It was always going to be a Ducati 998R.
Right.
That was always my dream bike as a kid. Posters.
Tick.
Always wanted one of them.
Yeah.
And I loved riding that one. That was the first dream ride we did. But it's actually become an RC30.
Right, wow, good.
I just enjoyed that RC30 ride so much, and there was always a picture of an RC30 smaller next to the Ducati, but now as I've matured, I think an RC30
They're a beautiful bike and legendary and iconic, and we've sold many of them from here, and they are very special. Absolutely agreed. And which bike are we going to take out next? What are we fancying next?
Well, it's Indian FTR, which you said had just
hooligan.
come in, the hooligan bike.
Hooligan bike.
I've got a soft spot for them. I've ridden them quite a bit. I'm real keen on them. But you've got a little bit of a corner full of classic trailies. Yeah. And there's some XT500 Yamahas. There's an old Honda XL twin, XL single, the 600. I'm really keen to ride some of those old traily ones. That's
very similar.
And I love a bit of sweating over a kickstart on a sunny day.
So as you can tell on camera, Chris is absolutely motorcycle obsessed, and it is, like I said, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I really appreciate you coming on the full chat.
James, appreciate it. Here's to more riding.
Thank you for watching the latest episode of the Bike Specialist Full Chat. Please like and subscribe down below, and comment for people and racers who you would like to see on our channel.